Hello there. I'm going to talk about the Glock 19. I've had the gun for about 3 weeks, shot probably 800 rounds through it, not one jam. Comes in this nice case. This case, factory case, is not lockable, but you could put a padlock around it or something there that you could be able to lock it. Fantastic gun. Let's check it first, make sure it's empty. There's no magazine in there. Check there. No bullets. Okay, the gun is safe. A lot of people have said they don't like the safe action trigger on these guns. I actually don't feel it at all. When I'm shooting the gun, I don't feel this little arm whatsoever when I'm shooting. It has no effect on the shot whatsoever. Very accurate gun. Like I said, 800 rounds at least, has not jammed once. This is the Glock 19 compact. Fits my hand really nice. The grip is really good. Made in Austria. I put the extended magazine release on the gun. I'm actually a left-handed shooter. There's not a lot about left-handed people shooting these guns on YouTube, so I thought I'd say a little bit about that. When I hold the gun, it actually sits, the magazine release just sits right here, and I don't really feel it. Even with the extended release on there, I don't feel it while I'm shooting. So it does not really affect me. The other thing that I actually have on order is a slide lock, extended slide lock lever for easier release with my index finger. Now with this magazine release, it makes releasing the magazine left-handed really easy. I just use my index finger, press the release, magazine comes right out. With the factory, with the stock release, I could not release it with my index finger. But now with the extended one on there, it's more leverage and it's a lot easier to do. The other thing people don't talk about is how to replace this, and I'm going to show you how. Really easy. I'm not going to take the other one out, but I'm going to show you how it's done. So let's go ahead and field strip the Glock. Incredibly easy to field strip and clean. Once again, I want to make sure there's no bullets inside, no magazine. Release the slide, dry fire in a safe direction. Take this hand, wrap around the top, pull down both sides of these levers. That slides right off. There's the base of the gun there. Spring comes out easily. I'll show you a couple things I did to my gun here. Recoil spring and then the barrel. And it's field stripped. Incredibly easy. You can get in here and clean any residue, anything. I clean my gun usually after each time I shoot it. A lot of people never clean their guns or whatever. I just go in there with 100% cloth and just clean everything out after each time I shoot the gun. You might have noticed here something different, not on factory Glocks. This is a recoil buffer. It just sits right here where the recoil spring sits. And the main thing is just to protect against wear, because this is kind of metal on metal here at the gun. So this helps from wear, just wear and tear from this contacting here, and it helps a little bit with recoil, not really felt all that much. The other thing I did to my Glock was I replaced the factory recoil spring with a stainless steel spring. It's heavier and helps with muzzle flip, they say, also helps with recoil. I have noticed a little bit of a difference, not a huge difference, but a little bit. And there is the factory one. You can see the inside is actually plastic on the factory recoil spring on the Glock. I have a stainless steel one, a little bit heavier. You can also get, I believe it's a tungsten or titanium one you can also get. So let's put this back together now. We will put the barrel in. That slides right down in there. Put the recoil buffer on. The spring in. That just sits down on the bottom groove there, on the square groove. It sits nice and nice and flush. While I have this stripped here, I'll show you, kind of hard to see, but down inside where this lever is, you won't be able to see very good on the camera here, but down inside there's a little arm and a spring. You can kind of see it. It's right there. Right there. All you have to do is get a long flat blade screwdriver, go down in there, push the spring over to the right. You'll see a little groove in the release handle. Pull the spring over to the right in the groove to where you can kind of pull the spring rearward on the gun. Once you pull that rearward, this magazine release will slide right out to the right. Slide the new one in. On the extended one, it's got two little Allen bolts that you bolt this little lever on here. Once you slide that piece in, then you bolt the little handle on here once it's in. So if you were to remove this one, you'd have to unbolt these two Allen bolts, pull this little handle off, and then it will slide, through. So pretty self-explanatory there, pretty easy. This just slides right back on, just like that. I'm going to do a function check after. Reset the trigger, fire in a safe direction, make sure everything works, reset, fire. One thing a lot of people don't know, it's really neat, is the trigger reset on Glocks is really far to the rear. A lot of people, if you're shooting rapid fire, if you want to try and maintain a little bit more accuracy, you pull the trigger and you fire, keep the trigger held. I'll reset it, and then release it slow until you hear it click. And it's clicked right there. That's a lot of travel if I were to let this trigger all the way back out, a lot more work. So if you're firing off a lot of rounds, you can hold the trigger, release it until it clicks, and you can fire again. Just a little trick with the Glock trigger there. This Glock is great. It's got the slides here. You can put on a tactical light, laser, whatever you want to do. A lot of other parts you can get for this. Different pins, different release here. You can get a different color slide, different sights. I have the factory sights on mine. They're just white. I do like them, but I think I'm eventually going to get some night sights on there as well. The other thing I did, which I really like, is this plug here for the rear handle. If you own a Glock, you've got a big open hole here. Some guys will put 2 more rounds in the handle. They actually fit there nice. I actually got this plug, and the plug just clips in. There's the release if you want to pull it out. Push that in, pull that out. Just makes the gun look better, flush, helps when stuff not getting down inside your handle, and it helps sturdy up the handle a little bit more also. So that's a really nice piece I got. All parts purchased were from glockstore.com, fairly good prices and nice quick shipping. Once again, Glock 19, I love this gun. 800 rounds minimum I've shot through it, not one jam, not one problem. It fires every time, fires perfect. Any questions? Feel free to let me know. I will do a replacement of the slide lock lever when I get my new one in. It was on back order. I'll do a video and show how that's replaced. And I think I'm also going to do a 3.5 pound trigger on mine as well, and I can do a video on that. But that's the Glock 19. And magazine loader. If you don't have a magazine loader, I highly suggest you get one. I've seen people try and load their magazines by hand, pushing the bullets down in one at a time. I think it's virtually impossible to get the 15th round in the magazine when you have 14 in there without this. And this just slides over the top, and it just pushes that down, slide a round in, slide this up to clear, push the round all the way to the back, and then again. And it's really quick. I could load 15 rounds in probably 20 seconds max in this magazine. So it's really quick, really easy. It comes with the Glock. If you buy one new in a kit, it comes with it. Highly recommended. Glock 19, 15 round magazine, compact. fantastic gun.